What do the four chambers of the Supreme Court of Justice do? If you ever heard that the Supreme Court of Justice has justices, but you don't identify their functions or know what they do, we'll explain it here. First, we need to know that the highest court that applies the laws in El Salvador is called the Supreme Court of Justice. If the Supreme Court of Justice were a building, its four main pillars would be the Constitutional Chamber, the Civil Chamber, the Criminal Chamber, and the Administrative Litigation Chamber. Constitutional Chamber. It is composed of 5 justices and makes its decisions with 3 votes when it comes to the protection orders and 4 when it comes to unconstitutionality matters. Citizens can go to the chamber to request protection when they believe the government has violated rights such as health, security, or freedom of expression. It is the court that resolves errors that laws and decrees approved by the Legislative Assembly may sometimes have. It corrects the mistakes made by deputies based on the Constitution of the Republic. The Constitutional Chamber also resolves conflicts between legislative and executive powers over the approval of a law. Additionally, it is responsible for reviewing the situation of individuals who request freedom when they have been unjustifiably arrested. This type of process is known as habeas corpus. A recent example of the judgments issued by this chamber is the declaration of unconstitutionality of executive and legislative decrees to contain the COVID-19 pandemic. The Constitutional Chamber determined that many decisions made during the quarantine were errors because they violated the Constitution. Criminal Chamber. It has 3 justices who specialize in the laws that punish those who commit crimes. It is the court that reviews the decisions of all the courts in the country. If a person is convicted of a crime, the case can be reviewed by a criminal chamber and then by the criminal chamber, which has the final say in appeals and can overturn convictions. A recent example of rulings from this chamber is the resolution that acquitted the intellectual authors of the massacre of the Jesuit priest in a criminal case. A court had agreed to prosecute them, but after a review, the criminal chamber ordered the case to be closed. Administrative Litigation Chamber. This chamber is composed of 4 justices. The Administrative Litigation Chamber reviews the legality of acts by the public administration. Citizens can turn to this chamber when they believe that an institution has committed arbitrariness in an administrative process. A recent example of such cases is the judgment that declared the dismissals made by the government in June 2019 of 2 employees of the Sanctions Tribunal of the Consumer Protection. The chamber ordered that, since they were dismissed in violation of the law, they should be granted all salaries and benefits not received since their removal. The Civil Chamber. It is composed of 3 justices who have the final say on family matters, inheritance disputes, cases of illicit enrichment, and more. The Civil Chamber is responsible for confirming or annulling judgments from commercial, labor, and family courts. Additionally, the Civil Chamber grants permission for the execution of a judgment pronounced by a foreign court in the country. An example of the actions this chamber can take is the confirmation of the conviction for illicit enrichment of Elmer Carlake's former private secretary of ex-President Antonio Zaca in 2020. The chamber held an appeals hearing and, after reviewing Carlake's conviction, concluded that he must reimburse $15.7 million to the state. Por favor, hagámonos más atrás. Por favor.